Most people can design, but they are stuck when it comes to building. We are going to build this Google Stitch design that we generated earlier on WordPress, and we are going to use LocalWP. I have a video on LocalWP, so you can check it out. I'm going to leave the link in the description. So let's go ahead and create a new site. So I'm going to give it a name which is called Stitch, and I'm going to use the preferred settings, and I'm going to give it a name. And here you should also give your Gmail address. And let's go ahead and add our site. It's going to load our WordPress site. So you can add as many of websites that you want to this LocalWP. You may be asked to give some permissions. Just go ahead and do it, and it is downloading WordPress and it's going to install WordPress. For those who don't know Local, it is a hosting platform that you can install on your PC, and you host this WordPress website locally on your PC instead of using some cloud-based hosting platform. So we are going to log in to WordPress. Okay, before that, let's see if we can view our sites. So this is our site. The name is here Stitch, and there is a sample page from WordPress. Let's go ahead and log in with the details you created earlier on. So you're going to enter your password and you will be logged into your WordPress dashboard. So this is our WordPress dashboard. Welcome to WordPress. You can dismiss this. So a quick overview of this WordPress. We can go to our settings, go to our general settings, website name, and our tagline here. And we can set our icon, let's say our favicon. So let's go ahead and find some icon. So yeah, let's say we are going to use this as our icon, right? Let's set icon. Great. You can just crop image and we're going to save changes. So the next settings is permalinks. So you go to permalinks and make sure you choose post name. Okay, this is how you want your pages to be arranged, or Google to find your web pages. Okay, so let's save changes as well. And we are going to go to plugins, add plugins. We are going to use Elementor drag and drop. So Elementor is a free website builder. Okay, you can use it for free and it has pro features as well. So we are going to install and activate after installing. So this is how we add plugins on WordPress. You have to go to add plugins and search the name of a plugin and install plugin. So a quick tip, one good thing about WordPress is you have a lot of plugins that you can use, and we are also going to install starter templates. Okay, but before we install starter templates, we have to install. Okay, but since we have it here, if you don't have starter templates, after installing Elementor, just search for starter templates and install that one too, but don't activate it yet. We have to install a theme before we activate starter template. So we are installing Elementor. So you can see our two plugins are here, and we can activate Elementor. Okay, so let's set up Elementor. You can also skip the setup. So you can start with a blank canvas. You can choose professional design template as well, and you can start building with AI. So this is the Elementor window, but we are going to go back to WordPress. So this is also the block builder for WordPress. And quick notes before we continue: if you want to learn WordPress the right way, from beginner level to building full professional websites for clients. I have a complete WordPress course where we build projects like this step by step. So the link is in the description. You can join and build with us. So let's head back to our WordPress dashboard. And here we have some draft pages. We can just delete them. And let's go ahead and go to appearance and themes. We are going to install our theme as I mentioned earlier on, and we have countless themes. You can also upload a theme. So let's search for a theme called Astra, and we are going to install Astra here. When you are done installing, you have to activate. So we are going to customize or build our theme, and because we have installed starter templates, we are just going to build with starter templates. So we have to select a page builder, which we can select the block or the Elementor. So let's go with Elementor. If you have not installed Elementor, kindly go and add Elementor as a plugin. Okay, so we can pick from numerous templates. So let's go to our design, and let's see, it is for a care business. Okay, so let's find a good template that suits it. So let's search for the keyword here. So you can see you have a lot of options that you can choose from. So I am going to choose from here, and this so I'm gonna select these templates. Yeah, so I chose this template, and you can see it is taking you halfway through the job. And with this panel here on your left, you can choose your typography. I'm going to go with the default. So we can also upload our logo here, and let's use a logo like this one, and I'm going to change it later with the proper brand logo, and you will see how we can also edit headers. Okay, so let's go ahead with this one, and let's click on the continue. Before that, you can also change your colors as well on this section. Right, I'm going to go with this one, this bright yellow, and click on continue, and let's go ahead and build our website. And we are going to click on build. We are going to submit and build our website. Now our site is ready. We can click here to view our website. We can also click here to finish. So let's finish the design, and we are back to our dashboard. And if you want to view your website, you hover on this home logo here, and you can view your website here. Yeah, so this is our template ready to be customized. Okay, before we continue, in our WordPress crash course, we are going to be building from scratch with Elementor and block builders. So don't forget to check the link in the description to join the crash course. And let's do a quick overview of our Elementor window. This is our view. Okay, you can go straight to your editor by clicking on build with Elementor here. You can also use this panel to go back to your dashboard. You can also just leave an open tab or a separate tab to navigate to your dashboard. When you're on your dashboard, this is for pages. As you can already see, don't be intimidated by the WordPress dashboard. Okay, that is for pages. If you want to visit your pages, settings, plugins, appearance. On the appearance panel, we customize our theme. So let's go ahead and customize our theme. We are going to touch on the header, as I mentioned before. You can also touch on the typography. If you want to change the typography, we can also do that from our header, okay, and our customization section. So with that, you're going to go to global, and you see you can touch on the colors, add more colors, you take out colors, and this is the typography. You can use our Figma typography here as well. And with the header, you can work on the header. We can change the logo. So let's go and export our Figma logo. I'm going to click on the frame and go to our export in Figma, and I'm going to click on export as an SVG. So our file has been exported, and I'm going to go to Elementor or WordPress, and I'm going to click on change logo. I'm going to upload a file, and let's upload our SVG. Okay, so there is it, our SVG over here. So I'm going to jump in the Elementor tab real quick, and with the Elementor you can work on your actual pages. Okay, you can work on your pages. Customize your headers and footers. Okay, so let's go and get our text from Figma. So I'm going to copy the text, come to Elementor and paste it here. So you can toggle on this bar to view fully. And when you are done, you want to save your changes, you click on publish. So we can preview changes here. You click on the eyeball and it's going to preview our changes. So let's go ahead and customize. So let's say I'm going to work on the button with a corner radius of 12 pixels, and this is our button here. You can give it a customization in Elementor, but if you want to make it a component, you have to go back to our customize and work on our buttons directly, and we are going to change the corner radius here and put 12 in there. Okay, make sure you link everything, and I'm going to click on publish. So you can see our buttons have changed, and we can also click on edit with Elementor, and let's go ahead and drag or get our subtext, and let's go and change our subtext. So one beautiful thing about Elementor is it is drag and drop. So now let's see if we can add additional features. Let's go ahead and add this bar here. Welcome to our community. Let me copy the text, and we are going to add an element. So we are going to click on this plus button, and we are going to add a text editor. Let's change the text, and let's start our color So our text color is going to be white. So we can pick from our global colors. So you can see it's not pure white, so you pick from your global colors. And let's give it a width, a fixed width. So we are going to custom it and give it a fixed width so that we can put in a background image, the background color. So we're going to go to advanced and we are going to go to background, and we are going to choose classic. And let's view the color from this panel. Okay, it is a very subtle orange, so we are going to add a subtle orange. Let's see if we have a global orange color here, and let's reduce the opacity. Yes, all right, let's reduce the opacity, and we're going to go to our border. That is where we make our radius, or our radius settings. So let's go to border radius, give it 50 pixels. Okay, and we are halfway there. So we can also give it margin and paddings. So I'm going to give it padding left of 25, to push it to the center. Okay, and the text is all caps, so we are going to go to typography, click on the edit and go to transform, and we are going to choose all caps, which is uppercase, and it has transformed our text to uppercase. And when we are done, we click on publish, and we can also customize our secondary button here. Let's go and copy the text. And let's change the text here, view top, and we go to style if you want to give it a background. So the background type, we're going to give it a solid color. Okay, solid color with a black text. Okay, so let's pick sample black text from our global colors here, and we can also try and get an icon here to fit, and you can also check your icon library to see if you can get a video icon. Yes, let's get a more appropriate play button icon here. So we've already gone halfway through the customizations, and with our background, let's go and save our background from Figma. So I'm going to export the image, and I'm going to export it as PNG. So after I'm done exporting my image, I'm going to click on my background container, and you can see the previous image here. We are going to upload our new image, and we are going to go back to where we exported a Figma file. We are going to upload a Figma file. When it's done uploading, you select it, and it is going to replace our background. And with background, we can also give it an overlay, and we can hit on publish. So this is our customized header on WordPress. So let's go ahead and add some sections here as well. You're just going to click on this button here, edit container button, or you can find a container in your layers. So this is the layers, and we are going to add a header. Okay, let's add a header. Right, I'm going to add a container here before we add the header. So let me add a container, a flex box, and I'm going to choose column, and I am going to give it margin of 0 and padding 0. And I'm going to stretch it to full width or border box. Okay, let's go ahead and align everything to the center, and let's click on the plus and add a text. And in order to give it this large chunk of space, we are going to give it or add margins to the container. Okay, so let's click on the container and let's add a margin of 80 to the top, and let's customize our text here. I'm going to copy the text, so I am going to drag our divider, put our divider here. Let's go ahead and customize the width, make it a little bit small. Let's customize the color, give it an orange color here, and we can also customize the width if you want it bolder. All right, if you want it bolder, you can customize it as you want, and let's click on publish. Yeah, same way we can also change everything with the text and the icons. Yeah, so as I'm saying, we have our Figma to WordPress building crash course ongoing. You should just sign up for it, and you're going to learn more in depth. So let's say we want to build it from scratch. We're going to add a new page. So let's add a new page here, and this is our brand new page, and our logo is popping up nicely here. So let's go ahead and add a container. You can add a container from this section. You can also choose from this section. All right, they all work. So I'm going to delete one, and I'm going to work on this container, and I am going to give it a margin of 0, padding of 0 to get a fresh start, and I'm going to give it a full width because it is our hero section, and I'm going to also give it a minimum height or a max height. So I'm going to give it 100% view height. I usually use 90 or 80 so that you see a bit of the next element down there. And we are going to add our image, our background image. Okay, so let's go to style and background image. Okay, classic, and let's put out our image here. This is our image, and let's give it an overlay. Yeah, and let's reduce the opacity a little bit. So with this container, I'm gonna choose, let me check the layout in Figma. So I'm going to add my text, and let's add elements here, and I'm dragging and changing this text, and this text color is white, or let's say off-white, and you can copy and you can also duplicate it. you can duplicate the elements. And I'm going to give this one orange, and I'm going to release them from the edge, and I'm going to give padding to the hero or the main container. Yeah, so let me give it a padding of 80. I think it's a little bit too much, so let's reduce it to 40. Okay, 20, okay, then 20 should do. To match it with the logo. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our next element. We are going to add elements, and we are going to add text editor. Okay, and we are going to create this welcome message, and we are going to give it color of orange and a background. Let's go to background. In the advanced tab, let's give it a background of orange. Let's reduce the opacity. Yeah, and let's go ahead and give the text also a transform of uppercase, and I'm going to reduce the width. I'm going to give it a padding on the left side of 30. Okay, so, and I'm going to round the corners with the border radius of 50 on all sides. So with the Figma design, I can notice that the background is a little bit white. So let's go ahead and let's change our background overlay. Okay, and the text color is black. Yeah, let me close the gaps. So with this section, you can close gaps so that the text feels tighter, and you can give your preferred gaps to the text. That is what I'm saying, things that need human touch, because as you are seeing the design from Stitch, there is a big gap here which is not good for readability. So as human, you fix it and you close it up, because you are the designer and you have a better judgment than the AI. Let's replace, and I'm going to give it a fixed width. Let's give it a fixed width. Okay, 50 is okay, 50%. Text color. Yeah, so let's get with this one. When you go to your typography, you can also work on the line heights of your text. Okay, we are done with that, and I'm going to add my button. So we're going to add element and search for button. So this is our primary button. The text is here, schedule 12. And let's add another button. Okay, so in order to add a perfect double button, let's add a container here, and let's go ahead and put our buttons inside the container so that we can style the display. So we are going to align items in a row, okay, because our main container here it's in a column and everything will be appearing in a column. But with this container, we want to give it a row because we want to style the buttons next to each other. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our button here. Okay, yeah, so let's add another one before we proceed. You can as well duplicate it. So make sure it's in the container. Yeah, so we are going to work on the second button because we have customizations for it. And let's go ahead and change the text color. We are going to actually change the background. And we are going to turn off the border type to give it a no stroke at the border. And we are going to add an icon. Yeah, and we are going to align the width to make it also align with the text. And I'm going to hit on publish. You know, with this text, it looks very small and I don't really like the alignment, so I'm going to work on the margin. And we are going to go to our hero container, and yeah, that is our pattern for you. Yeah, because after you stretch it, it looks like it's really hugging the sidelines. So I'm going to still increase so that it aligns well. Yeah, so that is it for you. The rest is history. You can always work on your text, increase your text, make it bolder. You know, you can always revisit your global colors and font and work. And also don't forget to sign up for our crash course, and we are going to learn a lot more. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. So you can increase the background overlay. Make it, or to make the text pop out more. Okay, so there we go. We click on publish and we are good to preview our pages. We can view our changes. Okay, so this is the preview.